Valeria. Welcome to my second impromptu live. I need to stick the phone into the holder. I was having trouble getting it to orient properly and actually start the live video, so pardon my hand and adjustments. We're not fancy here. We just kind of go with the flow. I would love to have all this set up prior to starting to record, but it is what it is. I have purchased another tablet so that I can actually, hopefully, get comments pulled up. But I gotta find my video. Hey, there I am. Okay. Lisa Jen and a Jerry. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because I gotta face away from the microphone in order to look at comments. So, all right. I am going to be working on Heaven and Earth Designs mini quick stitch Arctic Dreams. Say that 5 times fast. And I'll show you. Oops, I just knocked a bunch of crap off. I don't know if I can. There. Oh, it's dusty already. I just took a screenshot. Oh my gosh. This is my new one. And I have that little section already started, but I went ahead and gridded it out, and I'm going to start up in the corner. I've been testing these new water soluble, like fine ink pens, and it's gonna take some. It's not like a spray some water and it disappears kind of thing. It's definitely going to be a soak it to get the ink out. But I think they're going to work really well. They still have the same issue that I've had with other water solubles, in that if you have the tip on the fabric for any length of time, it will bleed and spread. So you got to be kind of quick. I'm probably going to end up switching not switching, flipping my work quite often, because these are short ones, and the way I stitch, I use one length at a time. My dog is snoring like crazy. One length at a time, so that I don't have two like tiny pieces left if I don't estimate properly. But that means that I gotta work with some pretty short strands when I don't have the skein cut very well. This is probably going to be semi-boring, because this color is like this whole strip wide. How wide is it? Like almost 60 stitches wide. So I don't know. We will see how this goes. Let me put the light up a little bit. Okay. So how is everybody doing today? I'm lonely at my house again. My husband has been hunting all weekend, and he had a buddy come up from North Carolina. So they were in the stand like all day today and yesterday, and they're both exhausted. So they get up at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning to go out to the stand. So at like 9 o'clock, his buddy was like, I'm calling it. Good night. And my husband joined him shortly thereafter. Yeah, Jen, I don't know. Are you ever going to get caught up with those? Because I'm telling you what, I am trying to build up milestones for when I actually update, because I'm a heifer like that. Oh, your first retreat. Oh, Liz, that's exciting. Which one did you go to? Was there a lot of people there? I know my very first retreat, there was not that many people, but I still got peopled out, so I absolutely understand where you're coming from on that. I hope you had fun. Did you make lots of new friends? Hi, Darlene. Well, to be fair, this is only my second live, so you're doing really good. I have, as per usual, zero idea of what I'm going to talk about, other than saying hi and seeing what the peoples are also doing. I also, since I had zero clue that I was going to be going live until everybody, like, all of it, because it was sudden. I didn't realize they were going to go to bed until it was like, oh, okay, good night. So I had a spicy hot chocolate, and by that I mean I put a bunch of moonshine in it, so I'm overly warm, and inhibitions have been lowered. Ask me anything. No, don't. I mean, do, but just be prepared. um 65 people for your first retreat. That's not terrible. I would say that's a pretty cozy number. I know my first really big one when I went to Stitch North was like, I don't know, what is that, 150 people, I think, per weekend. That's a lot. It might even be like 300. I can't remember. I just know it was a lot. Victoria, Australia. Yeah, one of these days I will. I love that it seems my internal clock and timing for stuff like this is timed very well for the Australian crew. And for some late night peeps here in the US. But maybe one of these days I can get some UK people. Hi, Joyce. I keep forgetting that Australia is getting nice and warm again too. I think I said that last time. But it does. It blows my mind that I have to think of you guys going into the summer. We had our first snow already, and it stuck for a few days. My son was able to go sledding, and he made a little mini snowman. It was so cute. Yeah, I would say hectic is a good descriptor for very large ones. Okay. Boop. Of course, places in the US, even though we're technically in winter, for them too, might as well not be. Jen was talking about being in the 80s this week when I was watching her update. And I'm like, that's not fall. Those are not fall temperatures. Probably not even for Florida. Hi, Lori. Ooh, Poltergeist Pirates. I like that one. I like that one a lot. I really wish I had gotten that when I first saw it at the first time I ever went to Keepsakes. They had that as one of the model stitches. I'm sure I could still get it, but let's be real, I've got enough. I has enough. So this is, I'm working on, oh, son of a gun. I'm working on making a knot is what I'm doing right now. This is 14 count Ada, I think. I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked at it in a while, nor did I bother to measure before I started. What's happening? There we go. Let me stare at this a second. Yeah, that's 14 count. And since I'm not able to get the piece as close to my face as I need to for my terrible eyesight on like a smaller count fabric, I thought this would be all right to work on for a live. Oh yeah, that is a list. That's nice to be able to see, especially the hand-dyed fabrics in person. That's awesome. First three project bags. Yeah. Welcome to another rabbit hole. Oh, my cheeks are on fire. Hey, is this too hot for November? Okay. I thought so, because like when I go to Georgia in February, I mean, we're usually in the 30s and 50s, maybe 60s if we're lucky, not 80s. I realize that that's dead winter, but 80s seemed high. Lady Leopard. I don't think I've seen that one. To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of the Nora's Mirabilias that are out there. Mm-hmm. 60s, windy and rainy. Yeah, but I feel like that's pretty typical for fall weather. Yes, that sounds fairly lovely. Although to be fair, the rain that happens in November is usually like that. The winter clouds, like, do you know what I mean? Like the clouds in winter are way different than the clouds in summer. Like the clouds in winter to me are much more oppressive. Like they're a lot lower. They just seem to hang really, really low in the sky. Summer clouds to me are they're much nicer. I'll take summer clouds, please. 300, Alex. Bitter half. Who's the artist on that one? Liz for Bitter Half. Yeah, Jer, we're supposed to get, I guess, freezing rain in the morning, so I wonder if we're getting the same system that's hitting you guys now. We typically will either send weather up to Ontario or we'll get the weather that Ontario has, like a day later. Warm in St. Louis. Yeah, you're a ways south, more south than we are, I think, in St. Louis. I'm always surprised at how far south Missouri is on a map when I look at it. I always feel like in my head it's due west, but it's definitely southwest from where I live. John Shannon. That's not ringing a bell either. Mental note, look that up. Yeah, my husband and his friend were talking was it yesterday? about how there's some people are, and I don't know if these are experts, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because I have no clue, but how the magnetic poles are shifting a bit, and that can also help drive wonky weather. That's something I have to look into a little more. Oh, okay. So that's how wide. Oh, no, just kidding. I've got a little more to do. Oh, okay. It's weird. There's a delay in the video on my tablet that I'm looking at comments at, and it's very disconcerting. I'm very glad I have it muted. I used to not have any trouble using my regular clamp with my Lowry with hue snaps, but lately it seems like they do not want to stay put. I need to invest in the corner clamp and the long arm extension. Okay. Oh, duh. Okay. I may actually have enough to show in an update here soon. I've been really not quite monogamous, but very one project for a week at a time lately. I do feel like that's starting to ease up a little bit because I did like 1,000 on Beloved. Like I've done quite a bit more than that, but I definitely have started feeling it at about 1,000 stitches, and I'm like, I could switch. I was debating on starting the framework color on Dragons of the Sabbat, but I really kind of want to do a full, like an actual update video before I do that. I did my little reel with the final stitches in it, but I feel like there's something a little bit different when you have a person like holding the picture, the fabric up is sort of perspective, I guess. No, Joyce, don't feel bad. When I type to anybody, it's a hot mess if I don't proofread before I send, which I hardly ever proofread before I send. Usually ends up quite hilarious. Me too, Lori. All the blues. This one's very blue, purple, pink heavy, which I love. Okay. What's happening here? When Jen almost sat down on Mr. Whiskers, I was surprised I didn't hear a squeak. Like, he made no noise. He was just like, all right, I guess I'm just getting sat on now. Poor Mr. Whiskers. Oh, thanks, Lori. So it's actually not a matter of which dragon. I know a lot of people are maybe hoping or assuming that I will go straight into the dragons, but I actually want to do all of that blue, like the blue glowing framework that surround, like for the middle with all the sigils. I want to get all that done before I even do any of the dragons. So I have probably another year, year and a half of stitching to go before I get to an actual dragon. You're so noisy. Oh my goodness. He's all squished in my other chair. He's got his face where he can't breathe. He's such a goober. Yes, Joyce, actually, I just texted with Suki a few minutes before I went live. She's doing well, as well as can be, of course, with everything that's been going on. But yeah, she's good. She's okay. Just very, very busy. And I know her house construction is, of course, slower than anybody wants. Seemed like at first they were going to make some really good progress pretty quickly, but that didn't last very long, unfortunately. I know she had just gotten home right before, excuse me, oh, I need to get a drink. I'm assuming getting settled in for the week. So I don't know if she'll be able to jump on this evening or not. It's okay if she doesn't. Not a big deal. She's, like I said, she's super busy. I so hope things settle down for her this next year. So I don't remember if I had gotten, if I was just talking about joining the Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along for next year last video, or if I had actually pulled the trigger on it yet. But I did pull the trigger because I am a glutton for punishment. Yeah, her library stitch is still on hiatus. It's with as much as she's having to basically pick up and move, like the Airbnbs and everything. She just doesn't have a good permanent stitchy spot at the moment, and that's just, it's such a big project that, you know, you kind of feel like it feels like it needs a home before you're able to like mentally get into stitching on something like that. So I can totally understand where she's coming from on not being ready for it yet. I chose the Draconis Loki Lapis. I don't remember what it's called. It's the Raven Phelan one. Draconis is the first word, but I can't remember the words for the rest of the title at the moment. They're eluding me. But there's like, so far, 1,600 people, just over 1,600 have signed up. And there are 35 other people stitching that chart. It is the next to last most popular chart, but I'm super excited about it. I really, really like her artwork. It's on, and it's the smallest chart of all the, I mean, they're all very similar sizes, but it's a few thousand stitches less than less than the other charts, so a little bonus there for me. Because I am going to be stitching it full cross. So the first one I did in 10 stitch, but this one, I don't necessarily love how 10 stitch ends up, like, it looks fine. Don't get me wrong, it's the picture turns out fine, but there is sort of a quality of just how the stitches look because of the nature of not being a full cross that I don't absolutely love. And that chart I like enough that I want to do it justice for me doing it full cross. Jen, I know you're not doing. I am a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good chart and freebies. They get me with the free crap. That's okay. I do like the encouragement too of stitching with a bunch of other people and like having deadlines. And this year they're doing the full chart right off the rip, so that's a nice bonus too. I was not a fan of having to wait for pages to come out, especially with like holidays at the end of the year. Maybe you're a fast stitcher, but you have so much stuff going on at the end of the year that it's impossible to, ouch, to keep up once that last quarter comes out. Just stab myself. Okay. I hope this isn't too boring of stitching with my one color back and forth on these long rows. Ooh, Stone Cottage. Yeah, anything with the that kind of texture, I feel, and the flowers, those are, whew, that is gonna have a lot of confetti. Brave. Good on you though. If you love the chart, then that is what matters. I'm sure there's still gonna be some confetti with mine too, but I have to admit it does look a little more block stitching than some of the other ones. Joyce, I haven't had any trouble with warping in 10 stitch. I know some people have had issues. I don't, I would assume it has some to do with tension, you know, how tight they're pulling. It has some to do with the type of fabric that's used, the type of 10 stitch that's being used. Like there's basket weave, there's continental, like there's methods that you can use, especially in block stitching, to minimize the warping effect. So some people have a lot of issues with it, and other people's have no issues. So it really, there's a lot of factors involved. Aw, thanks, Lori. That's very sweet. Oops. There are days when I get sick of listening to my own voice, but most of the time I don't talk, so it's nice to feel like I have people to talk to. Because there are days where I go, you know, almost all day without uttering a word. Yeah, that's understandable, Liz, especially with the exchange rate. I don't know, like, cost of living, how it compares, you know, if you're 30 feels like our 20, but I'll be honest, the $20 price tag was one of the things that I was like, do I really want to, like, is what I get worth the $20? That was the question that I kept asking myself. And um, let's just say I'm definitely motivated to get the whole thing done in order to feel like the price tag is worth it. So, but I can definitely understand where you're coming from for sure. And yeah, if I feel like, and speaking from experience, that if you're stitching on something out of a feeling of pressure or, I mean, I know FOMO is real. Like I fall to FOMO too, but you really have to weigh the worth of that against your wallet some days, right? Which one did you pick for this year? I don't know how to. What do you? I don't know what to call you. Aberdexter. I want to say abracadabra. That's not right. I hope. I hope you didn't have a year that, like, if you wanted to work on it, that prevented you from working on it. That would suck. I'm sorry if that was the case. Now I have a song stuck in my head. Abracadabra. I wanna reach out and grab you. I don't know who sings that song. It's from, I think, the 80s or something. Yeah, and I have had a lot of, like, seeing a lot of comments about, I'm like the charts are okay, but I'm really holding out for the Amy Stewart chart. Like I really like her artwork, but there are some where I would pass on stitching it. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to hold out for judgment for when it actually comes out, and I'm sure it'll still be pretty, but like I don't know. Let's see, what is today? Middle of November. We have until the middle of next month before it closes. And we have to have 4,000 people sign up before the, like, milestone charts. I mean, they're cute, but the only one I would consider stitching is the 4K mark. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. I have a feeling that that is not going to happen. So I had to, again, that was one of my weighted questions. Like, if I don't get all four of the milestone charts, is that going to be okay? Steve Miller Band, really? I feel like I know more of their songs, but that I can't think of it off the top of my head. I have been on a 90s music kick though. And let me the existential, like, crisis that I had when I realized that the 90s music that I grew up in high school is now considered oldies. I was not okay. I was not okay. Oh no, when you were young and dating, you had a few guys that played the song for you, hoping it would work as a pickup song. That's I'm so sorry. That's kind of awful, to be honest. Reaching out and grabbing you is probably not the best pickup line in the world. Some days I wonder about men. I I really doubt, Melanie, I doubt that Amy Stewart chart is going to be supersized or max color. Those both of those are kind of niche, and I feel like they would really want to try and appeal to the masses when it comes to that chart. Now, I did see somebody post in um, the Hade group, the Hade Sal group, kind of asking about would it be an option? That would be kind of cool if Michelle would be willing to, you can't get all three, but you can choose, right? Or, like all four. You've got your regular, or maybe even what? So we got mini, regular, max color, supersize max. I really don't see her putting effort in to do all of those. And I feel like if she's going to do more than one, it would be hard to justify not doing them all because there's going to be some people who want a mini and some people who want just max color and some people want just supersize, and that's going to put too much pressure, I think, on Michelle to do all of them. So I really feel like, I don't know, if it were my call to make, that would be what I would stick with, would be like, here's the regular, that's what you get. And maybe, although I think that is going to be a Sal exclusive, so it's not like she can say the other varieties will be on the website for purchase later. But yeah, I really don't see that. I really don't see that happening. Oh, Alanis Morissette, that's a good one. I use YouTube Music quite often for my work day. Really? I don't know. Can you guys hear my dog snoring at all? Next, he's gonna howl in his sleep. I really like the YouTube Music app because you can put like a song from a genre and it'll start playing that kind of music from whatever era you're craving, if you can at least think of one song. Jen, did Steve Miller band play words? Did they do Sunglasses at Night? I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. My dad used to sing that all the time. He was a sheriff's deputy and he wore his sunglasses at night. No, okay. I have to find Steve Miller band music. I know there's probably not a ton of US folks here. Maybe half and half? I don't know. Who's ready for Thanksgiving? Not this girl. We're hosting, apparently. I am excited, though, to be honest, because it sounds like all 5 of our kids are going to be present. Obviously, the little guy's going to be here, but all the adult children are going to be able to gather, and which is I was ecstatic about because 3 of the 4 are on third shift for their jobs. So, I couldn't have it any kind of early, which is fine because obviously I'm not an early bird. But we've got a turducken to cook, and I have never made a turducken. So that's going to be fun and interesting. So for anyone who is not sure what the heck I'm talking about, a turducken is a turkey stuffed with duck, stuffed with a chicken. I don't know who decided that was a brilliant idea, but there we have it. Turducken. Thanksgiving in the ER, boo. You're gonna get all the people that are like, I ate too much, now my belly hurts. I'm dying. Or the ones that eat too much and their gallbladder finally rebels. Or, it's America, so we've got the Thanksgiving gone wrong kind of things too. Hopefully that's not a thing. Night night, Melanie. Thanks for stopping in. Oh gosh. They call me the gangster of love. Yeah, I know that song too. Oh, slicing off appendages, carving the turkey, or they pull a me and they get their mandolin out to do a fancy potato, cut the tip of their finger off. Oy. Yeah, let's not do that, people. No au gratin potatoes for Thanksgiving. Don't do it. Oh, deep fried turkey and house fires. Yeah. Please, if you're gonna fry your turkey, fry it outside. Don't drop it frozen. That will explode. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Lori. Yes. If you could, take a quick second to thumbs it up. Heart the video. La la la. I have a reaction button on my chat. What is this? Oh, is that to send emojis? Never mind. I don't join lives very often myself, just because I tend to be in the wrong time, like time-wise, to be able to join a live. So I don't know what all the thingies mean as a participant of the chat. Yeah, we are not going to do regular mashed potatoes. That was vetoed this year. I'm just going to make a sweet potato casserole and a corn souffle and some yeast rolls. Green bean casserole was also vetoed. We're just going to do like a southern style green beans with bacon and stuffing. And I'm going to make I'm going to make 2 pies. A pumpkin pie because, well, gotta have pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. And I'm going to make an cinnamon roll apple pie. There we go. Gotta find my recipe for that one though. They're so good. You take cans of cinnamon rolls, like pre-made cinnamon rolls, and you flatten them out just enough to make a pie crust where they're overlapping. And I just used like canned apple pie filling. We are not fancy here, but so good. It's so gooey. This is why I'm fat. Anywho. Yeah, lives definitely can be really good for when you don't have anybody to share in your craft. Southern green beans equals normal green beans for you. Ooh, Jen, do you have a recipe for those? Because how do you make them not taste like water, green beans, and bacon? Like where I can't get the flavors to mesh very well. So if you have a good recipe, I need that, please. Jen sent me this recipe for Texas cowboy stew. Oh my gosh, I made that tonight. It was so good. And apparently it feeds an army. Like the original recipe makes like 8 quarts of soup. It's ridiculous. Or not soup, stew. Everybody encouraged Jen to make another channel that's nothing but food. She needs to make a cooking channel where she can share all her delicious recipes that she finds and makes from the interwebs. I am reliant on recipes like that. even if I modify them heavily, I gotta have a base. It's like my artwork. I can't do art out of my head from nothing, but I can make a really good approximation. Like my tattoo that I have is a mashup of two pieces that I loved growing up that I combined into one piece and then had them etched permanently on my back. Hi, Kelly. The base, Liz, I'm not sure what you mean. The base spice flavor there, like as far as cooking, like as far as the like what's our traditional sort of flavor profile? Is that what you mean? Pudgy pie irons. Ooh, Abra, that sounds good. Am I saying is it Abra? Is it a hard A or a long A? Long A, short A, or A? Oh, for the Texas stew, the base tomato. So it was not much. Like you can really adjust the spiciness of it. It only called for a teaspoon of chili powder, which did not impart much heat at all, which was good for my little guy. Um, and then let's see, what else did I have? I had cumin, garlic, salt, pepper, carrot, and onion. I used venison for the meat, and then it had a kielbasa Polish sausage, a can of pinto beans, green chilies, diced tomatoes, but I use crushed tomatoes, so really just any tomato adjacent can of tomato adjacent product worked. Potatoes, corn. I feel like I'm missing something. I thought about adding black beans, but I wanted to get the base recipe down first. It called for like mixed vegetables, but I had some fresh carrots that I needed to use, and I just said screw the green beans. It was fine without it. It turned out so good. Yes, for the love for the love of God, cut it in half. Because it makes a hearty 4-quart stew. Oh, I marked off a stitch that I had not done yet. I mean, because the original recipe calls for 2 whole kielbasa sausages, which are like at least 12 ounces to a pound a piece, and then 2 pounds of ground meat and like 6 potatoes. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of food. 2 cans of corn, 2 cans of tomatoes, one with chili. It was a lot. It was a lot. Abra. Okay, Abra. I'm probably still gonna end up butchering it at some point because my brain hates me some days. But I agree, Liz. Jen's lives where she meal plan was awesome. I took notes. I promptly lost the notes, but I took notes. Ooh, butter cake? Chili con carne. Yeah. I thought about next time adding a little bit of cheddar cheese and going with the black beans too, making it more of a Mexi, Tex-Mex kind of thing. Um, I need to dig out my cookbooks. I just need to start. I need to get back into cooking. Not that I need to. I want to. I want to get back more into the homemade cooking. Not that I really cook healthier when I do that, but at least it's homemade, right? Yay! I am here for meal. I'm here for the food talk. Let me tell you. In my Facebook group, I threw out one of those like thought ideas of wouldn't it be fun to be in like a group of friends that I forget exactly how I worded it, but you have like a recipe that everybody agrees on, and then you all kind of get on like a Zoom call and make it, but that kind of requires people to be either in the same time zone, on the same schedule, cooking at the same time. Of course, it could be like desserts that you do. Like maybe it's just a group of friends that get on Zooms and make a dessert for later. You're not necessarily cooking for your family right then and there. I wonder how many of these stitches will be in the wrong place when I'm done. Oh, I miscount all the time, Joyce. No doubt about it. Now, to be fair, I usually catch it within a few stitches. However, when I don't, I will just try to fudge it. I am a fudger. Especially on full coverage, not worth the headache of pulling out a ton of stitches, especially when I'm stitching like this back and forth in these huge lines. Now, if it's glaringly obvious that it's going to be a mistake and it's like, say something over here, where obviously the counting happens a little bit more precisely, I will actually, if I can't find a close end, I will cut a stitch and frog it forwards and backwards to have enough to fix it. Why I don't know what this butter cake is. I've never heard of butter cake. Why have I never heard of butter cake? Is that like a pound cake? That doesn't sound like a pound cake. Pound cake isn't gooey. Hummingbird cake. Jen, I feel like we've talked about hummingbird cake. And now I can't remember what exactly it is. Baked goods. I found a copycat recipe for like regular oatmeal cream pies because my husband is weird and likes nothing pumpkin. Like, I'm gonna have to make a double batch, one for oatmeal cream pies and one for these oatmeal pumpkin cream pies that sound amazing. I have all the stuffs now, I think. I have to find the cream cheese. I cannot find the cream cheese that I ordered. But my husband helped me put away groceries, so I don't know where it happened or where it went. We have 3 fridges. Things get lost. Yes, the orca is gorgeous out of this. This is gonna be a hot second before I get down to it, though. I mean, I do have that little section started that if I really wanted to, I could go back down and start working on the orca, but let me tell you, folks, I'm kind of over 310 at the moment. I was working on Beloved and I hit 310 and I'm like, oh no, I don't wanna, because it's a big section of 310 too. I'm like, I don't wanna. thought about working on it for this live, but I mean, and it, to be fair, it would be this about the same as this, you know, back and forth on a sort of large section of color, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling the 310. I want to say it's almost 100 stitches wide, the strip of 310 that I'm working on for that project. Could I go work on something other than 310? Yes. But that's not how my diagonals roll. Spice cake with bananas, pineapple, and no nuts. Yuck. And cream cheese frosting. Okay, that sounds good, except for the nuts. Nuts in things are gross. Unless it's pecan, but only very specific instances of pecans in things. I was talking with Ariana the other day about nuts and things because she made banana bread, and I went, nuts. I have 11 very ripe frozen bananas in my freezer that I need to do something with. And yes, I love banana bread, but I don't know. I've had a lot of banana bread in my life. I feel like I should do something else other than banana bread. I might have to find this hummingbird cake and make that. Maybe I'll do that for Christmas or something. Around the Christmas holidays. I hear leopard has a massive white. I feel neutral about white stitching. Excuse me. At this point in time. Because let's face it, I don't do a lot of white stitching. I think the swans from Gecko Rouge, I think that piece is probably the most white heavy stitch that I have. But I haven't really gotten much into that at this point. I know it can be challenging to see the white stitches, especially if you have several different shades of white. You see all kinds of charts you like, and then look at the probable 310. Nope. And that's honestly, I'm drawn to really dark, excuse me, I'm drawn to a lot of really dark images. Probably just because the color that's included with those tend to pop really well. But my eyes do not like stitching on black fabric at all. So I tend to stitch the black, obviously. White stitches are your nemesis. Aw. Ooh, peanut butter chips and banana bread? I have not tried that. I have definitely put a metric ton of chocolate chips in my banana bread before. That's usually really yummy. Yeah, the texture thing. I'm sure it's great for some people, but it's a very the nutty like nutty flavor I can usually get behind, but the texture of nuts is really what is a turn off for me. I don't like my textures to mix. Not like that. Shadows from white stitches make you crazy? Shadows. Shadows from white stitches. I don't know if I've ever witnessed this phenomenon before. Shadows from white stitches? Like where the... Why can't I picture this the shadow that you're talking about? My brain is broken. This is 820 is the blue that I am using at the moment. To be fair, I don't know if this is if this is a DMC 820, this is an off-brand 820. And unfortunately, the blues in some off-brands vary wildly from their DMC counterparts. This kind of feels like DMC, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say this because I don't remember. You don't even really like the cake. Is it the bananas or the pineapple? I know some people are like really not okay with banana flavor. Like there's I know a guy that he will start gagging if he smells it. It's so bad. So no bananas around him. Yeah, my middle son, he hates pie. Like, will not eat pies. And he does all right with cake. No pies. I just like sugar, unfortunately. Oh, lemon meringue pie? Man, my grandma made the best lemon meringue pie when I was growing up. Oh my gosh. And I don't know, like, does anyone else have this problem with modern lemon meringue pies? Like it's a lemon. Okay, so the lemon meringue pie that I grew up with was more like a lemon custard pie. And they're like that. I don't know how do I want to explain this? Like a really tart, almost like jello-y consistency. I don't know. It's gross. I don't like modern lemon meringue pies, but I don't have my grandma's recipe for the custard lemon either. Ah, warm fruit. Okay, yeah. Oh, Joyce. Okay, I see what you're talking about with yeah, okay. The irregularity of the stitches show up in white a lot easier. Yes, okay. I am picking up what you're laying down now. I have problems with all of my stitches looking stupid. So I just got over it. Like, it's just gonna look wonky. It's fine. Key lime pie, yeah. Nom nom nom. Ooh, glow in the dark thread. I have some like sewing embroidery thread that you would put into a sewing machine, but I don't have any I don't have any DMC stuff or insert brand of glow in the dark embroidery floss here. Whee. Okay. Really? So this one square right here, it's empty, is literally one stitch of 939. And that doesn't show up again until Orca. What the what? You know what we're gonna do with that stitch right there? We're gonna do this. I am not putting one stitch of 939 there. That's ridiculous. Ta-da. Normally I don't do that, but yeah, no. Not today, Satan. Gelatinous lemon splooge. Yes, exactly. I want lemon custard, apparently. And mile high meringue. Oh, see, Liz, I'm here for the overly fluffy meringues. But I also just love anything meringue. I love the crunchy meringue cookies that you cook for like 500 hours on a like 250-degree oven. Those are really good. Sweetened. Oh, possibly, Kelly. Adding sweetened condensed milk to the like lemon curd kind of stuff. I don't know. I have not baked enough in my lifetime. I feel like I should have baked more in my lifetime, but I have not. No, Abra. Oh, I feel you on frogging borders. I discovered that, well, not really discovered, but I realized that the issues with importing long dog samplers into Pattern Keeper were universal as far as all the patterns that I have. And it eliminates 2 stitches across the pattern every page. So I have, in my new normal, I started with like just going around uh, the whole of the exterior, and I have to frog one side completely because I have to add stitches back in on both the horizontal and vertical. So that's fun. I do not, hopefully it's not too many stitches that you have to frog. Oop. Okay, where are we at? Another form of backstitch. I don't I like how you think, Lori, but I also think that that would be awful for me in particular. Jen might be all right with it. You can do it, Jen. Backstitch makes me sweat, especially if it's dimensions backstitching. Your long dogs have an extra row at the top of each page after the first one. Oh, that's weird. Sleep well, Jen. Thanks for coming on. Did you get a goal done at all on your floss tuber frenzy tonight? Knock anybody's stitches out? Hey, progress is good. Progress is where it's at. Oops, I don't want my scissors. Oh, sorry, my big old head just bonked the camera. I'll fix it here in a second. this back over. Friends who snort will get better progress when I post an update. If I ever post an update. No, I will eventually. Oh yeah, I do get more stitches though because I went live. Haha. Forgot about that. Do. Thinking about the next strand, I can jump down here and get a different color in. To be fair, it will probably be very similar to whatever this color is, but it'll be a different than just going back and forth in a very long row. You can't go wrong with blue floss. That's true. That is true. I feel like you can't see that very well. Hang on. Can I zoom? Oh, I forgot to zoom, guys. Sorry. Oh, what is happening? Well, that kind of made the... Sorry for the jumping. Good grief. That kind of made the color kind of weird, didn't it? Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shame on me, Alara. I feel like some people add that weird zoomy effect to their videos on purpose. I will say this Ada is very, very, very stiff. And I don't know, like this edge right here is it's very pokey. So like doing this with my hand makes it kind of sore after a while. Hi, Shauna. I see you lurking. I am very particular with my pie crust as well. I don't like crunchy pie crust. I need to have my pie crust very gooey. I will almost always leave that gross dry edge. If the shell itself is super crunchy, I will do the same. I will eat the filling and leave the crust. I think it's going back to that texture thing. It's a soft pie filling with a very crunchy texture. It does not belong. My mouth does not like it. Does she have to stitch extra if I use special effects in my videos? I don't know. That would be funny if she did. Maybe only if I hit a milestone, I think. That might count. Big blocks, big progress, no counting feels good. It does. Although, to be fair, I have had lots and lots and lots of that kind of stitching with my dragons. The crust till last, huh? Yeah. Ah. I don't know what it is either. I feel like there's some weird food trauma associated with that for me. You don't like ice cream on your pie? Love the crunchy crust rim. I don't know that I've ever really. I think Cool Whip is probably the most that I will go for of the creaminess on my pie. For like apple pie a la mode is kind of big here, but I think I don't like the hot melty ice cream part that happens at the edge of where the ice cream meets the pie. Not a big fan of that. And like people up, my ex-husband is from Michigan, and he always ate his apple pie with cheddar cheese, which I found super gross. But cheddar cheese with apple slices and things like that, that was big in the Michigan area that he was from. Oh, look at that. I said I was going to go down to that other section, and then I threaded the same color. Oh, well. See, yeah. Cheddar cheese on pie is gross. Cheddar cheese with apples is gross. Ugh. See, I get in trouble with counting because if I make one mistake and then that stitch ends up being an anchor stitch where I count off of that stitch or whatnot, that's when I start running into a lot of trouble. Because I won't notice again until I get, down to the bottom of the square that something is off. Strawberry jelly on grilled cheese? What? Strawberry jelly on grilled cheese? Oh, I've done ham and pineapple on my grilled cheese, and I think that's about as exotic as I've gotten for my grilled cheeses. Because I think at one point I thought I like pineapple on pizza, and pizza has cheese and crust for the bread, so it sort of made sense, and it did turn out really good. But strawberry jam? What? Yes, ice cream soup. Overly sweet milk at that point. Exactly. I gotta mark this row off. It looks weird otherwise. No. Come on. Oop. Married into a very strange family. It's funny. It's funny to me how much of cultural identity revolves around food too. Salsa on your grilled cheese. I can kind of see that. Tomato soup, tomatoes and salsa. I can see that working. Do you dip it like a chip, or do you just put it on like a sauce? Dip it. Nice. So I think I talked about getting my supplies in for my chatelaine at some point previously in another video. That's feels like it's so low. Hold on, going for a ride. Okay, that's a little better. Maybe, yes. And I have my fabric. I haven't decided if I'm going to use floss from my master set and like try to pick out DMC and make sure, actually kit it up and make sure I have enough dye lots of one color for the whole thing. Or if I'm going to order some Sullivan's floss, especially to start this chatelaine. But I also have a sort of block on starting it because I have to dye my fabric. And I've never dyed fabric before. And it's not that I'm like worried about messing up the color or anything. I'm just going to do like just a navy solid dye, right? But it's that whole like it's a new thing, and doing new things for me is very hard. Task switching in general is kind of hard for me. But task switching to something I'm completely unfamiliar with, man, it's like trying to climb Mount Everest. My New Year, New Start is going to be the Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along, unless they release it, a couple of days early, like they did in 2024. Then I'll start it then. But I really do kind of want to stitch on it next year. Like I saved for a long time, and it cost a lot of money to get all those supplies in. I want to start it, but man, trying to get past that block to do all the new things is hard. Does anybody else have trouble with that? Is it just a me thing? Heritage is German, came to after World War II. My husband's family also immigrated here after World War II. Well, here being the U.S. Food learning curve. I mean, I do have I have a whole bag of fabric scraps to practice on, but I don't know. The fabric that I bought is from kind of this hole in the wall little craft shop, and I don't know the fiber content of. Did I get linen? Actually, I do. It is a linen. So, but my fabric scraps that I have are not natural fibers, at least for the most part. I'll have to double check and look. Oh, you know what? Actually, no, I might be lying because those should be cotton. That might work. That might work. At least to get maybe not the color itself, because that is, from what I understand, that has a lot to do with like dye to water ratio to amount of fabric and stuff. I don't know, somebody correct me if I'm wrong if you're experienced dyer. But maybe just doing some playing around with it with the scraps would be a good idea to get me used to the process. That might work. Yeah, Liz, maybe I need to do that too. I've gone to the RIT website and like read through all the how to dye stuff. Maybe I need to actually study it more, do like note taking, and I mean I can still have it open and do that, but sometimes that helps too, like writing down the process to kind of get it pictured in your brain a little bit better. That might also be a good idea to try. Joyce, how do you mean the direction that I am now, as far as like which leg is first, or one X at a time, or the holes that I come up in? Linen, from what you understand, takes on dye better than even weave, so it ends up darker. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I won't need to do the double dye then. Because I don't necessarily want it like navy blue. I'll have to look at the the fabric sample thing that that one website. I'm being so precise right now. The one website has where you can put the chatelaines over different colors of fabric to see how it'll look. Hopefully somebody knows what I'm talking about. A learn with me video. I don't yes and also no on that, because I am very, 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 like, I'm pretty shy. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am relatively shy. But I am quadruply so when it comes to when I'm doing or learning something brand new. I don't like um, I don't like having the spotlight when I don't feel like I know anything, like when I don't know what I'm doing. And that's true recording a video or in person. I prefer to do it and mess it up on my own and learn from those mistakes, than learn with someone watching. Unfortunately. Like, I don't mind, I don't mind saying that I messed up, or, I made a mistake. That's certainly not the case. I'm not trying to say, oh, I have to be perfect before, so that it looks like I'm perfect. No, that's not it. I don't, it's just a matter of like my brain freezes really bad. It doesn't work properly when people are watching. Yeah, Kelly has a nice series of dyeing fabric that I'm definitely going to be referencing. Um, I actually asked if she would do a coffee tea dye specifically for me. I mean, obviously for other people too, but if she would do one, because I have high hopes that I'm going to be the recipient of the seasonal stitches, the ones that Jen is doing from Cooler Designs. I asked my husband for those for Christmas. because the group that I'm in for stitching on Facebook, the stitching game group, they're going to start one of those for the first of the year, and I have the fabric as well for that, but I want a coffee tea dye it. Um, to stitch on. So yeah, for sure I will be reviewing her videos. Upper corner to lower corner. Okay. So kind of. And actually, if you go back to Joyce, if you go back to my live from my first live, you will see that I actually stitch differently on that fabric. This when it's not a typical even weave with one, basket weave basically, where the warp and weft are just over under each other. Ada has the sort of interwoven fabric where the stitches won't slip under each other. I prefer to stitch, yes, from the upper right, lower left, upper left, lower right. I don't, just my preference. But depending on, like, I will have to switch that up a little bit depending on what the next stitch is and all that stuff. Like, I grew up with somebody had a reel on Instagram recently. Yes, you should. You should totally take the plunge. Join us. Because there's something different. Like if you're on social media and you post like to Instagram or Facebook, there's something different about being able to see the person with their projects and hear them talking about it. I don't know. It just makes it more. What's the word I want? More real? No, that's not right. More relatable? I don't know. I don't know the word I want, but personal. I don't. Hopefully that makes sense. Can you pick up what I'm laying down from context? Does it make sense? But somebody had a reel the other day talking about English versus Danish method of cross stitching. The English being the 1x at a time, and Danish being one leg at a time. Like if I were stitching Danish, I would have the bottom leg all the way, like I would do this whole section of floss or whatnot, and then you would go back in and fill it up the other leg. And that's how I learned to stitch. That's typically how instructions on any cross stitch pattern will have the Danish method. And most people, I don't know, have really great results doing that. As far as how their stitches lay, my stitches, I do not like how they lay when I stitch Danish. I don't know what it is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold, please. Where did I? What? Okay, I should not have skipped this stitch right here. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I did that. So let me mark that so I don't forget to go back and do it. But yeah, I don't care for how my stitches lay when I do one leg at a time. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. One, two, three. Yes. Okay. I'm all right. It's all good. I figured it out. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, I think night, Kelly. Thanks for joining. Enjoy your hubbing time. Yeah, Lori. Yeah, exactly. That's you have to stitch a certain way so that your leg goes the same, like your floss when you're crossing over goes the same way as the thread, so it doesn't slip behind. Hi, Sarah. Catching up from the beginning. Oh boy. Did you put me on pixie speed? Yeah, I love that piece. So are you joining the Sal, Sarah? Did you just pick a different one or did you skip it all together since you'd already started it? Yeah, Joyce, and I do like I will switch between the two if especially if I've got stitches kind of out in Neverland where the only good path is one way out and one way back in. I'll do one leg out and then the other leg back in. I won't do a full cross to do that. Basically, I just try to stitch whichever way is going to be the most efficient with my floss, with the exception of, yes, I know that stitching this way does take more floss overall, but I did test between both ways on two exact the same lengths of thread, and it was like it was less than an inch difference by the time the whole thread was done. And I tend to stitch with really long lengths of thread when I choose the length and don't have it pre-cut. So so for me it wasn't, the efficiency was not worth the headache of doing one leg at a time. Lori, yes, it is. Um, I'm very easily distracted always, Liz. It's fine. I distract myself. It's all good. Yes, Lori, the Hates Out is through Facebook only, unfortunately. So I know some people actually um, joined Facebook simply for the Sal. They created an account um, just to do the yeah, I'm repeating myself. Um, just to do that. Um, Lori, let me know when you come back. Because there is a caveat to that. She's not going to hear that though. How do you tell people to tell you when they're back when they're not here? Oh, okay. So, okay, so if you purchase the Sal through Heaven and Earth Designs website, but everything else, like actually, and you just you get your order number basically through their website. You actually choose the chart that you stitch through the Facebook group. So there's instructions because you can't join the Facebook group until you purchase the Sal. If you go to the Heaven and Earth Designs official Facebook group, there is, I'm sure there's a featured pinned post or whatever that will explain in detail what is expected to join. And everybody's really good at helping to answer questions if you have any once you get there. And I'm happy to help answer what I can for sure. Yeah, Ari, that is unfortunately, a drawback to stitch alongs that have deadlines like this, unfortunately, is that if you're a very casual stitcher, or just don't stitch very quickly, that's going to be a challenge to an impediment possibly for those kinds of goals, unfortunately. Yep, exactly, Lori. And like I said, that just make sure you read all the fine print, because I want to say I don't think it's necessarily hidden on the website, but I know I clicked the link for purchasing through the Facebook group on like just the official Heaven and Earth Designs website Facebook group. And like I know a lot of people don't like the pressure of stitching. And I certainly have my moods where I'm like that, where I'm like, I don't want to be told what to stitch, when to stitch, how long to stitch on it for. But I found it very motivational to have, especially since Jen and I stitched the same picture when we did it in 24, 20, yeah, 24. That was very motivational to stitch and get it done. So just being active in the group will help, I think. Especially since for the piece that I picked, there's only 36 of us total so far. It's kind of, I don't know, I kind of like being, excuse me, kind of a exclusive little stitching group with that one. You would rather drop that many stitches into a current Heaven and Earth? Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Should I have that mentality? Probably. Because let's face it, I really don't need another whip. But at the same point in time, I also know that with the kind of motivation that I get from basically doing a challenge, right? That this type of stitch along is very challenge like. That I will have a finished piece at the end of the year, assuming nothing disastrous happens, right? So I have that as kind of a secondary motivation for it. It does help that I've been in a very, I don't feel like stitching on all the things kind of mood, where I'm content to just stitch on a couple pieces. And especially like, at least as far as like a big chunk, and then take a little break, and then I'm ready to go back to the same whips. I'm not sort of waiting. Like I'm not stressed about how many whips I have. I don't feel bad about how many I've got going, but I do wish that I had less to get progress on overall. Like I'm kind of feeling my mortality lately, right? I embrace my weird. I embrace my crazy. Yeah, you're right, Lori. It does, and I don't know. I honestly don't know that my love of all things stitchy, like stitch on all the things. I've always had an affinity for multiple things happening as far as projects and stuff goes. Would it have gotten to the level that it is without my channel? Questionable. Probably not. That's okay. Nothing says I can't drop down and focus on just a handful of those, right? I mean, obviously my recording, but I mean, let's be real, my recording times were never exactly predictable anyways. So just coming on, you know, once a month or so is probably, it's not the end of the world. And I realized too that like I really do like how Jen is working her whips, because she does have, I gotta figure out where I'm at, almost more of a focus. While she has a big variety out still, you know, she's got her closet of doom, where quite a few of her whips are sort of on, you know, they're on vacation at the moment, right? So she's getting a lot of stuff done on fewer whips, and that is not a bad thing. I don't know where I was going with this. My brain started thinking 5 different thoughts, and it lost its train. Yeah, that's true, Mirren, that we, like, there's a multiple levels of rewards as far as the SAL goes. Just one page gets you the Amy Stewart chart, which is what a lot of people are sort of gunning for. You know, you only have to finish the entire piece if you want more than one of the SAL charts. So yeah, it is nice that there's multiple levels of rewards involved. Oh, you guys are writing a lot. I'm behind. Hang on. For slow stitches. Did they make the pages bigger? I thought Heaven and Earth Designs pages were like 7,500 stitches, but it's also, I have turned off all the page breaks in my pattern, so I haven't really looked at a Heaven and Earth Designs page in a while. I don't know. If they made them bigger, or if I'm just remembering wrong. 23 a day, 155 a week. Yeah, that's a really good point, Sarah. Woo, 20%. Woo woo. Oh, is it 6 pages for the other charts? What's the reward for, like, is there a reward for finishing the whole chart? I don't remember. I've data dumped a lot of that already. Oh, that's right. Finishing the whole thing is, you get to pick one chart. Is that still correct? You get to pick one chart off the site. No, it's not the full site. I remember. Okay, I'm remembering now. It's not the full site. You get to pick from, like, what is it, 2 or 3? I think it's 3 different charts. Yeah, and Sarah, I'm with you. I really like the crane, and it keeps growing on me. So, yeah. I held on to the details long enough for my decision-making process, and then once I was like, "Yes, I'm in," I didn't need it anymore. I'll go back and look when I need to. Yeah, I am hoping that they announce what the Amy Stewart chart looks like before the deadline to sign up is, because I feel like that's um, a lot of stitchers are sort of hinging on that factor. But I don't know. I don't know if she'll have it ready for release as far as announcing the picture itself in time. Yeah, and Liz, I'm wondering too if they changed it from the whole site to just the few charts. And I don't know for sure, but are the reward charts, are they all AI generated? Because if that's the case, they wouldn't have to, and this is going to sound terrible, but they won't have to pay the artists per person for the reward, right? Like they're not making, yes, they've made money on the sale of the SAL itself. Could they put aside enough money out of that to pay artists their royalties for the reward chart if someone finishes the whole thing? Okay, right, that's the question. But another form of thinking about it is that they have to give away this artwork and pay the royalties for free. So there's sort of that double-edged sword. Like, do we limit the charts to stuff that we can provide without having to pay a fee? Or do we open up the entire website and then have to deal with royalties? So I can understand certain ways of thinking for that. It won't be announced until next year. Okay, yeah, see, and I have a feeling that there's a lot of people who aren't going to worry about joining if they can't see that Amy Stewart piece. Lori, that's amazing! Congratulations, 34-year-old project in April. I'm pretty sure I'm pushing some of those ages on mine. I know 25 years for sure on at least 3 of them. So that's amazing. Apparently I lied about pulling a different color. I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going until I hit the next color in the diagonal that I'm working on. So I turn page breaks off on my projects and turn on diagonals, and that's how I choose what color I'm going to stitch next. Obviously I don't work diagonally, but I choose diagonally, if that makes sense. Dang it, I stabbed my thread. Aw, hey, Lori, send me that link for the video that your piece is in. I want to see it too. Are you on? You're on Facebook, aren't you? Do you have Messenger or maybe Instagram? Shoot me a link in one of those if you would. Please. I feel like probably most of you already are either in the group or know of it, but if you're on Facebook and you want to join my little Facebook group, it's not super active, but it's kind of a share your moment kind of. I've put recipes in there. I put people share their pets and just like general life stuff along with their stitching. It's very laid back, and it gives me a chance to be able to see what you guys are stitching on. Um, Personally, like I'm in several other Facebook groups too, but it's just kind of a way for me to concentrate on people that I know from my channel specifically. But yeah, answer the questions if you have a very young Facebook account, because I do approve all the requests manually. Um, and because a lot of people don't get the prompts for answering the questions. So unless an account looks a little sus or is very new, I'll wave you on through. Okay, yeah, I would love a link to that video if you've got it. I want to see. I want to see. Got a stitchy date in the morning for the ladies that I met at the very first retreat I went to. There's a group of 5 of us that get together pretty regularly. We've actually started getting together twice a month instead of once a month. And that's been really nice because that's usually the only time I ever get out of the house. I had a really hard time sleeping last night, so I slept really late this afternoon, so we'll see how sleeping goes. Anybody planning on decorating for, I know for the US, the like question of when to put up Christmas decorations is usually right at like the weekend after Thanksgiving, right? Um, is it just like December 1st for other countries? How do you decide that? When do you decide is the appropriate time to put up Christmas decorations? I threatened my husband to start putting them up now. He vetoed that. Like, oh, come on. Yeah, Ariana, will you throw that link up in the group chat in the chat for me if you've got that? Boop. Thank you. Anybody else getting bored of this color? I mean, I love it. It's pretty, but it's almost wearing. It's not just a straight line. Boop boo. Okay, I think it's back. Testing, testing. Yay, okay. I don't know what happened, but man, yeah, I had the circle of doom on my chat tablet. Oh my god, the quality's awful though. And it just kept asking if I wanted to reconnect. And then it would. Okay. We're just going to keep for a minute and see how it goes. I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, but my cellular has like no bars. So I don't know what is up with that. Yeah, is the quality, is the video quality for you guys like awful as well? It is 12, almost 12:30 a.m. now. It's late or early, depending on your point of view. Okay. I am. Okay. Let me fiddle with my settings real quick, guys, and see if I can help. Yeah, there's no options for quality as far as the live goes. It's basically seeing that I have no cellular service and going, eh. Looks like when you tried to take a picture of pattern for Pattern Keeper. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. That's the biggest reason I go ahead and do a PDF, read it as if it's a picture. I take screenshots, but it still degrades it a little bit. But I mean that's a so I tend to hang out for a while. Yay, I will approve your request as soon as I wrap it up here, Lori. Don't need a clear picture to see the block of blue. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean the solar flares can. Mercury retrograde strikes again. Yeah, Terry, that I mean that's true. I mean, gosh, yeah, I would hope that if you're hanging out, it's mostly stitching and not really paying attention to what I'm doing because look at this blob, it's boring. Hey, I've got to crane my neck a lot to read comments, so it takes me a second, okay? Okay, looks like the clarity finally got a little better. Wonder what was going on. It's still not great, but oh, I should probably mark off stitches before I actually get to the point where I gotta break them up. Schrodinger's cat. I mention it and it decides to fix itself. Somebody said they put their tree up. Who was that? Joyce, was that you? Hang on, I'm going back. Okay, put your tree up over the weekend, but not sure what came over you. Good. Getting a little Christmas spirit action going. I like it. I threatened bodily harm to my husband if he doesn't pull stuff out of the storage shed to get our tree up for Thanksgiving weekend because, well, and I told him I wouldn't mind having the tree up before Thanksgiving this year because the little guy is on fall break the week before Thanksgiving. I'm like, I don't want to wait till the very end of the week so that he has no time to decorate the tree. But my husband is such a Scrooge. He's very, very bah humbuggy about the holiday season. I'm not really sure why either. He just is. But he's never really been in customer service, to be honest. He has mostly been in the back, like, he's been in the back cooking, so, gosh darn it. These threads are so short. So he's never really had to deal with, you know, like, not like retail people, right? That was more me. I was more the customer facing person. I love it, Sarah. You made a Twitter just to complain about Facebook being down. I love it. I noticed I had some issues with Netflix a couple of times being down, or like when YouTube itself went down. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. They had an actual outage in quite a big area where YouTube was inaccessible. No YouTube videos, no YouTube music, nothing. Mm-mm. When I worked in tech support, if we were on, like, I would work directly with our clients, and it would sometimes get to a point where even I was having trouble, like, troubleshooting the problem, and just to lighten the situation, I would sometimes I would suggest, do we want to go ahead and kick it and see if that helps? Just get a good swift kick. It'll be fine. Do we want to go ahead and chuck this printer out the window? That's where we're at now. Just give it a yeet. Oh, well, and that's the Liz, that's a very good point. This time of year is very overwhelming for a lot of people. I mean, there's so much stuff to do. I mean, especially for us in the US, it's Thanksgiving and then not even well, 4 weeks later is Christmas and then a week later it's New Year's and then yeah, and if you really want to count it, February, you got a month and a half and then you get one more holiday. I don't really count Hallmark holidays though. I have a feeling that once my youngest is out of the house, that Christmas is just another day feeling is going to get very real for me as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. All right, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring this back down across the bottom here to finish off the first 100 rows. First 10 rows of this color. And then I will call it a night because I do need to try and get some sleep so that I can get up and stitch tomorrow. And then it's back to work. I tend to take my 2 days off when my husband's home. Well, home being sort of relevant. Not relevant. Nope, lost that word too. On his days off from work, even though he's mostly in the stand this time of year. And just so that when he is home, we can actually spend some time together, and I can, cook. He really doesn't get real meals the rest of the week, so I tend to try and get him a really nice home cooked meal at least one of the 2 days he's off. The other day might be leftovers or whatnot, but try to get him at least one good meal. I'll give Miss. Oh yeah, I forgot about Halloween. So we got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and if you really want to throw it in there, Valentine's Day. So many holidays. Oh, Liz. I have been told I am a fast stitcher. Don't let that discourage your progress, though. Trust me, on my days of high distraction, I could do 30 stitches and call it a good day. I should have taken a picture of the blank fabric before I started. Oh well. See if I can get a screenshot off the replay video. 1, 2. Skip 1, 2. 2. Okay. Yeah, Lori, and I think that's part of the reason why I think once little man is out of the house as well, unless the kids come over and help me decorate, it probably won't happen. I don't want to do it by myself. That's just sad. I probably will, like kind of maybe what you did this year. Some go for years without putting anything up or decorating, and then get a bee in the bonnet and go ahead and do it one year. Oh, thank you, Ari. I appreciate that. Aw, Joyce, I'm sorry for your for baby losses. That's hard. I still miss my Dodger. His memorial was the end of October. It was 1 year. And I got my new goofy boy, but they are distinct personalities all their own. Yeah, I keep threatening my husband to, because I love lights, like Christmas lights. I would love to just string lights along my basement ceiling, just to kind of give it a nicer ambiance. Our basement is painted this horrible. I mean, you can see it behind me in my videos. This horrible dark red wine color, and it's like, for a basement, really, you're going to make it even darker than it already is. We are definitely planning on painting when we get the money for it, but we've got other priorities to deal with first. And but I love the lights on the Christmas tree, and I have a pre-lit fake tree, and we add lights to it some years. Probably not this year. I think we'll just go with the tree lights, but I keep threatening to just take down the Christmas ornaments and like stitch the put cross stitch ornaments by holiday up. Just decorate for the next holiday. As soon as Christmas is over, start decorating for like Valentine's Day and then St. Patrick's Day. And then, I don't know, make up a holiday in between there, because what's between, oops, one too many. Um, what's between St. Patrick's Day and 4th of July for us, Independence Day? Let's see. April. Oh, Easter. I guess Easter is sometimes in March and sometimes in April. So Easter. Anyways. Wait, you have a dog that's 20 years old right now, Joyce? Didn't take it down till August. We'll just leave it up at that point. I mean, once you hit June, you're in the clear. Just keep it up all year. Yeah, but I don't know how I would actually decorate for uh I mean, yeah, yeah, you could just do like a general spring. You could do seasonal too if you don't want to do like an actual holiday. Okay, that. Boop. And then okay. Oh, getting there. Like, I'm not super patriotic as far as I don't have a bunch of red, white, and blue decorations and stuff to put out for 4th of July, but I could see decorating for summer. Flip flops and sandcastles and all the ocean stuffs. And then fall, yeah, you could just decorate a tree seasonally. What the heck? Why not? Aw. Wow, 20-year-old dog. Pomeranians are little though, so and those tend to live a lot longer, but still I feel like 20 is decently aged for a dog. That's awesome. That is awesome, Joyce. I mean, we do have Memorial Day. But that's to me that's more of a somber holiday. Like I don't really, because you're honoring the veterans and military that have, passed on in combat, or just veterans that have died of old age and whatnot. So I don't know. That'd be kind of more, to me personally, it'd be more like having like an ancestor shrine, and that's a little morbid, I think, for my taste. The patients kept getting very confused. One of your trees? Shauna, how many trees do you have? I mean, I guess I shouldn't really be surprised in general that people have more than one tree, because my my ex-mother-in-law, she had and not necessarily like a fully decorated tree, but she had a tree, a nativity, a Santa, and something, I feel like something else in every single room of the house, be it just an ornament of said objects or a full-blown decorated tree nativity display thing. But like she was very serious about her Christmas decorations. Mm. But yeah, I'll take excuses for leaving up my tree all year long, just so that I can have the lights. Although I'll be honest, I'm not sure how this pup of ours is going to behave around the tree, because this dog this dog is like a toddler in that he puts everything in his mouth. I'm pretty sure that's that he experiences his world through his mouth. He And then he will run around, like run away from you when you try to get it. And yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how he reacts. When I'm gonna be really sad if we have to put it upstairs, because I don't, I see that upstairs like twice a day. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh, ooh, a pet spray. Mm. A tree for every room. Whew. Main tree, 8 foot, and family. A tree in the family, and 6. Oh, nice, nice. Hey, I'm telling you, Sarah, I am all about the lights. Like I could probably skip the tree as long as I got lights. Oh, I like that idea. The like an evergreen garland with lights intertwined, and then hang ornaments from that. That could be fun. Anzac Day. Yeah. Oh, Mirren, that's really sad. So is Anzac Day kind of like your Independence holiday, like we would do for 4th of July, or is it more of a Memorial Day like we do for? But our Memorial Day celebrates all veterans and no matter what they fought in. But that's really sad that that anybody's trying to get something like that shut down. Oh, fiber optic trees, that's awesome. I remember the I remember the tinfoil trees. Does anybody remember those? Signature pieces of the 80s? Oh, phone chargers. Oh, no. Yeah. Most of the time I can catch him pretty quickly if he's chewing on something. Like he'll come and lay down right next to my feet and try to start chewing on it. So luckily I usually catch him pretty close to when he first grabs it, but not all the time. And the little boy is still trying to learn the lesson of if you leave it out, he is going to chew it. He's lost several toys lately for that. Oh, is this gonna finish right at the end of the row? Ooh, that's satisfying. That's very satisfying. I love it when it does that. Might be able to get one stitch out more out of that, but I'm going to end it right there. All right, so that is 532 stitches. Ta-da. Yeah, news stirring up controversy. That's unfortunately very common for here too. Yorkies have only one speed supercharge. That's very true. My aunt and uncle used to raise Yorkies when I was little, and oh my gosh, terrors, and all the puppies to go with them, more terrors. Oh, no. Memorial Day equivalent from World War I. Pretty much made Australia what it is. Okay. Okay. Huh. All right. So there we have it. My blob of 820. Sorry it wasn't more exciting stitching, but let's be real, that's a lot of flipping of the piece. So thank you all so much for joining. Sorry about the little blip there at towards the end with the, I don't know what happened with that. And I guess it creates a new video. I don't know if those will get stitched together, if I have to, I don't know how that works. But yeah, hopefully I will get an update filmed as far as like what next video pops up. It will probably be an update, but let's be real, I don't really ever keep a schedule or promises like that. So yeah, if anybody watching the replay has any questions, please feel free to utilize the comment section. And if you made it through however many hours of a live this is and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I would certainly appreciate your company. And yeah, thank you for everyone in the chat for keeping me company, because like I said, when people go to bed at like 9:30 in my house, I feel very lonely and sad. So I appreciate everybody in here participating and commenting and hanging out, and not commenting and hanging out. That's also awesome. So alrighty guys, take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.